The cross-cultural interactions between the Christians and the Romans within the first 2 centuries were characterized by the many Roman persecutions of the Christians. After the Great Fire of Rome in 64 CE, Emperor Nero began a Roman tradition of imperial-sanctioned persecutions of Christians, who he placed the blame of the fire upon. Guilty only on the charge of atheism, the early Christians were killed and martyred for their beliefs. Polycarp, the bishop of Smyrna, and a Christian martyr, provided the earliest account that historians have of an official Christian persecution when he died in the 2nd century CE. Polycarp's martyrdom shows the Roman government, specifically a proconsul, submitting a Christian to a torturous death only on the basis of his different beliefs. Christians in the 3rd century CE experienced periods of relative peace and security, along with periods of harsh persecution, depending on which Roman emperor had power at the time. The reigns of Elagabalus, Servetus Alexander, and Philip were peaceful towards Christians and allowed the religion to flourish in Roman territory. This period of Roman and Christian peace is best symbolized by Eusebius' account of Philip repenting his sins to the Bishop of Rome. The relative peace that was enjoyed by Christians in the first half of the 3rd century CE would come to an end with the rule of Emperors Decius and Valerian. Emperor Decius is attributed as being the first Roman emperor that tried to convince his subjects to not participate in Christian rituals by ordering all Roman citizens to acquire a labellus, which showed that they had sacrificed to Roman gods in front of a Roman official. Emperor Valerian continued the persecution of Christians in 257 CE by issuing an edict that made Christian gatherings illegal and put Christian leaders that would not sacrifice to Roman gods to death. Cross-cultural interactions between the Christians and the Romans in the 4th century CE culminated with the worst Christian persecution to date. Emperor Diocletian in 303 CE began issuing edicts that attacked Christians for interfering in the affairs of Rome. Many church leaders and their families were rounded up under these edicts and executed when they refused to sacrifice to the Roman gods. The persecutions continued even after the rule of Diocletian with the next emperor, Galerius, continuing the Roman opposition to the church and issuing new edicts of his own. The great persecution would continue until the rule of Constantine, the first Christian emperor. Emperor Constantine improved the cross-cultural interactions between the Romans and Christians by legalizing Christianity and ending the Christian persecutions. In 313 CE, Emperor Constantine and Emperor Licinius created the Edict of Milan, which officially ended the Great Persecution. The Edict of Milan allowed all religions to be practiced in Roman territories while also not affecting the Roman pagan religion and its practices. This edict allowed Christianity to grow from its minority status to the most popular religion in Rome in the coming years, bringing about even more daily interactions between the Christians and the Romans. Another form of important interactions between the Christians and the Romans came in their literary arguments towards one another. Philosophers like Celsus and Porphyry of Tyre criticized the beliefs of Christians in their writings during the 2nd and 3rd centuries. The Christian beliefs of incarnation, crucifixion, resurrection, and hell were the main focus of their arguments and rhetoric. These literary challenges of the Christian faith caused Christian apologists to come forward and write in defense of their beliefs. These opposing arguments provided a new route for Romans and Christians to interact with each other, even if they did not live near one another.